Yo, what is good, my fellow Magic Lights? Your Overlord has returned with yet another JJK Phantom Parade video. Today we are going ahead and take another crack at this category series, and I realized that we ran out of actual legitimate categories that could sustain themselves. What I mean by that is the categories that we are down to now, they quite literally do not have enough character roster to even make a complete team. And now it's like I'm gonna have to start doing multiple categories in one video. And today we're gonna be talking about all of the other Jujutsu affiliated students who are not actually a part of the Kyoto or Tokyo school. And that is obviously just 3 characters, because 3 of these characters actually are just kind of like game original, or 2 of them are game originals obviously, and then 1 of them is just kind of like game original variant, I guess. Like, this person didn't make it into the Jujutsu school, but in the game they did, right? So we're gonna go ahead and go over that. If you guys do enjoy videos like these, man, you can go down below. You can hit that like button for the Deadman, because it helps out a lot. Y'all can also go down below. Y'all can hit the notification bell. Y'all can hit the subscribe and the notification bell so you get notified every single time the Deadman awakens his 6 eyes and decides to glide. And you can also go down below and let me know how you feel when Deadman lets that hollow purple blow. But it's sucky. But we're going to go ahead and get right into the video, guys. So, guys, like I said, we've already gone over all of the Kyoto and Tokyo students. Realistically, what I'm talking about right now is I'm probably going to call this video all of the other, or I guess, how strong are the non-main branch students, or something like that, something of that nature, right? But basically, when we're talking about non-main branch students, which are the 2 main branches of Kyoto and Tokyo, we are looking at the first year at Fukuoka branch campus, and then the second year at Sato Zakura campus. And even though it's the first years and second years, we're just going to consolidate them all together, like we consolidated all of the Kyoto students, because it just makes more sense. Because one of the Kyoto categories didn't have enough to sustain an entire team, or enough differently named characters to sustain an entire team, so we just kind of had to collide them together. And an extra caveat: I will be a little more merciful with this category, because like I said, this category cannot sustain a team itself, but it is not even as bad as the 3rd years at Kyoto, who only have 3 differently named characters. It is way worse, because amongst these 2 categories in all, there are only 3 differently named characters. So we would have to assume that, okay, cool, we get categories. They're not going to give you a category mission that says do an entire team of Sato Zakura, students. They're not going to do that. They're not going to give you do an entire team of Fukuoka branch campus students, right? Because that's just not something that you can do. That literally would be impossible. So more so, what will we see? And I really like this series because it's starting to give me a better idea. As I look through all these characters and start to think about all the things they have in common, it gives me a lot better ideas of how they could implement categories. And what I'm thinking is maybe they do a category that's students of the Jujutsu Technical College, right? That would be the overall category. Students at Jujutsu Technical High. Or Jujutsu Sorcerers, or no, because Jujutsu Sorcerers entails pretty much everybody. If we were talking about an extreme type and a super type, like in Dokkan, but for JJK, that would probably be, oh my gosh, my traps are like Goku, speaking of Dokkan. That will probably be Jujutsu Sorcerers, because Jujutsu Sorcerers are anybody affiliated with the school. Obviously, Curse users are anybody who is not affiliated with the school, but then you can't call Toji a Curse user because he quite literally cannot use Curse technique. He has heavily restriction. So the 2 category classifications would probably be Jujutsu Sorcerer, non-Jujutsu Sorcerer. That would probably be extreme and super types in this game, right? So these guys would be like Jujutsu Sorcerers. Student Jujutsu Sorcerers would be the category for these guys. So I would say this roster of characters is actually pretty solid. All of these Kaitos have very good use. This Kaito, okay, let's start with Rare Kaito. Rare Kaito is one of the best buffers in the game, because he is one of the only he's the only character who can well, there are other Kaitos. Well, I guess he's the only named character in the game, only character under the name, I guess is how I'm trying to say it, that can manipulate Jujutsu or cursed energy and give people extra cursed energy within their turns. And that is always going to be a busted trait. Even now, when we're almost close to the 1st year anniversary on Global and the 2nd year anniversary on JP, even as we're creeping on that, there are still guides being made till this day that have this man Kaito in use. And sure, he is dying very early on as somebody's coming from the back line, but even still, we are not going to pretend that this man is not highly impactful when he's actually on the battlefield giving everybody extra cursed energy. If you have his cursed energy skill at level 10, bro, mine's only level 9, he's still so useful. If you have him at level 10, bro, this man gives you 19 cursed energy every turn to all allies other than self for 2 turns. If you give him, if you have like imaginary youth or something like that, or you just work on his SP buff and you have extra curse energy to start off or anything of that nature, right? If you have anything to give him extra curse energy and you can get this buff off 2 turns in a row, quite literally the first turn, all your allies only get 19 cursed energy if you have it at level 10. The second turn, they're all going to get 38 cursed energy because the 2 stack on each other, and it doesn't say it can't stack on itself. Then the third turn, you know, if you can't do it again, then they're only going to get the 19 cursed energy again. But like, bro, that is a lot of extra. When you are talking about a game where you get 10 cursed energy per turn, getting almost double that is crazy, but getting almost quadruple that is insanity. So Kaito will forever be useful. He will always be just like a good not throwaway, like, we kind of throw him in the team like a throwaway because he dies, but like he's really not a throwaway. Like, even though he lasts for like a few turns, the shit he does just changes the entire like landscape of the rest of the fight for real. So Kaito's useful. This Kaito's a very good like support in the sense that he gives really good damage reduction. Yes, damage reduction buffs, and he can stun, and he can also give a defense buff as well, or attack nullification to a specific ally, and his basic skill I'm pretty sure makes the enemy weaker. So all around just a really good support for making the enemies weaker. Then this Kaito is an attacker. I can't click on him because I don't have him. This Kaito is an attacker. He is obviously more on the DPS side, but he still has support capabilities. If you're going for full support though, you're definitely going to want to put these 2 Kaitos in. This Kaito is more if you want to support, but also you want to have somebody else who's going to be providing extra damage for you. But nonetheless, I did use this Kaito in the Japanese version briefly, very briefly. He was not maxed out or anything of that nature, but I like his animations, and his skill effects are pretty chill. And then when you look at Saki was a dead character until they SP buff this Saki, and now the Saki is actually really freaking good. She can do some really good damage for you. She's not a tank, but low-key she can tank up for you, I'm pretty sure, because she has a revive. She gives herself damage reduction under a certain HP threshold, and sometimes a really good defense is a really insane offense. And if you play her right, you can quite literally get, how much is it, like 330% extra, like a Jujutsu and Taijutsu stat on her. So that is nutty in itself. 330% is crazy. 150 from her building buffs till she gets to an HP threshold, and then when she hits the HP threshold, an additional 180%, just to show you guys that man knows the semantics and the numbers. But yes, these cast of characters, or Kaito, goated. Saki, the SSR one, clean. These 2 are kind of whatever, but I'd say that since he's such a crazy universal buffer, and since she is a good damage dealer, and she is not obviously there at missions that are type advantage against green, red, blue, yellow, whatever, but like, at least she does not have restrictions on her extra damage dealt. She is not somebody who needs to be with just green characters to get all this extra stuff. She just gets the extra stuff naturally as a part of her base kit. Then we got Junpei over here at Sato Sakura, and I'll be real, I would have gave Junpei like an absolute tippy top god tier. The only reason why I can't do that is because this buff right here, after he gets an SP buff, he gives 15% to allies Jujutsu and Taijutsu, I believe, for 3 turns in his stacks. The only problem is, I believe the allies have to be yellow, which obviously not a problem that he got an additional buff. It's never going to be a problem, but he would have been definitely way better if that was able to be given to anybody. And let me pull up the wiki on the side here while I'm talking, just to make sure. But yeah, I could be yapping right now. I could be yapping the cap right now, and this man actually does buff everybody. But I am certain they updated the wiki, I'm pretty sure. I'm certain this man only gives it to yellow units. Grants, increases all allies Jujutsu and Taijutsu stat by 15% turn, or 15% for 3 turns. Effective for yellow type attacks only, and stun immunity to the ally behind himself. So like, he still is really good. The buff is insane, yes, but it is not a necessity. And not to mention, the skill who used to cost 30 curse energy now it costs 15. So that is just absolutely disgusting. He does also have more DOT potential as well, and the DOT skill also costs less curse energy as well. Like, I understand what they were going for with Junpei in the first place by making his skills cost a lot of extra curse energy. Essentially, what they wanted to do it. Wait, what? It says that this costs 30 curse energy on the wiki, but oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong skill. No. It says that his skill 2 only costs 20 curse energy right here actually, but on the wiki it says it costs 30 curse energy. But even still, they improved the skill because it looks like the skill only costs 15 curse energy. So it still did improve, but let me see. Yeah, that's odd that okay, so there's just a little inconsistency on the wiki. But this one right here is actually 20, so this one did not become less cursed energy. This one is just wrong on the wiki. It says 30 cursed energy on the wiki, but in all reality, it is just 20 cursed energy, as we can see right here. So that one is just notated wrong on the wiki. But even still, having the extra buff is cool. If there's other yellow units on your team, they can benefit from it. And like I said, we got to give these characters a little caveat of like, they're probably going to be more in a mission that says something along the lines of, okay, do this with Jujutsu High students, right? There's going to be a very clear distinction between personnel and students. I already did my personnel video. Go check that out. Personnel is a busted category, but when you consider the fact that they're probably going to be teamed up with all the units and, you know, this category and this category and this category, right? You kind of have to give these guys the pass because there's plenty of ample opportunities for this man to be lined up with another yellow unit. Yellow Megami, yellow Hidden Inventory Gojo, yellow Yuji, yellow Nanami, or Nanami is not a student, but like, you get what I'm saying. There's plenty of opportunity for these guys to find use amongst these other characters and fit in. Kaito still finds use on teams, even though there are plenty of other busted units, but he is still going to give you that nice support. And not to mention, if Kaito actually survives all the way to the point of his ultimate, then he's given an even crazier buff. So it's just like, these characters are definitely more versatile. I'm not going to say more well thought out, but like, they definitely are more versatile than a lot of the characters up here. But a lot of the characters up here in these categories are still excellent choices. They just may not be as versatile. They may be more fine-tuned or fixated on one specific type of support or damage or this, whereas these guys are just a little more free reign, right? But that was really it for this video. This video was super quick. Like I said, this category quite literally cannot sustain itself just because it's so small. But somehow they have a lot of hidden dark horses. We're not going to talk about SR Junpei, let's be real. But they are kind of like dark horses in the sense that like, they actually are versatile if you think about them for what they can provide, where they would hold relevance in the game, right? Because again, these two cannot sustain categories on their own to do missions. And there may be something that says like, use a student from Sato Sakura or something like that. But like, there's never going to be anything that says do a full Sato Sakura team. You literally can't do that, right? There's never going to be anything that says do a full Fukuoka branch campus team. Unless they go into the story mode and they reveal 2 more students who were actually, you know, year 2s at Fukuoka, which how are they even going to work that? I could not tell you. But if you think they're going to do something like that and show, you know, 2nd years, 3rd years, whatever at Fukuoka, or show more teachers at Fukuoka, who knows? Comment down below and let me know what you want to know. But that's going to be it for this video. This category, I give it probably like I give this grouping of characters probably like a 4 out of 5. I say above average because like, they're trying, man. They're trying. They can't sustain their own team, but like, they are strong enough to be fit in and be considered and even be like thought of as maybe first choices for some missions, right? Like, maybe there's a mission where an enemy hits too hard and he has single targets mainly, and you're instantly just like, no brainer, I'm using, and they're weak against yellow, no brainer, I'm using Junpei, right? The DLT is going to be helpful, the damage reduction is going to be helpful, the attack immunity is going to be helpful, right? I feel like these characters are actually not that bad at all. But if you guys did enjoy the video, you can definitely go down below. You can crack that like button for your boy Deadman, and you can also hit the subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get notified every single time the Deadman hits a 6 size or decides to hit that infinite glide. And you can also go down below and let me know what you want to know when I hit that hollow purple and Murasaki these hoes. But that's gonna be it for your boy Deadman Vince. The Deadman does love you. And if you guys want to see a video of me talking about the category specifying all of the evil characters or non-jujutsu sorcerers in the story, then go click on the video that is showing up right now. But otherwise, search the channel and look to your heart's content. Peace.